Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are you? Dave Neal here, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Recap with Guys Review. We are talking about Taylor Nolan today. I'm taking your voicemails. She's obviously had some very problematic tweets that have come to surface. She is a psychologist, I believe, right? A therapist, is that right? And a former member of the show The Bachelor. Now, I'm going to play all the voicemails that called in today to talk about Taylor Nolan. Let's get this puppy started right about now.
Hi, my name is Lori Ann Hersey. I'm from Bloomington, Illinois. And I'm commenting on Taylor Nolan. Yeah, she might be biracial, but as far as I'm concerned, she's black. And she's just mad because she can't look white because she looks black. So any part of her is going to be recognized as black, and I think that's what she's mad about. Thank you. Have a blessed day.
Thank you for the phone call. So let's jump right into it. Here we go. Wow. Calling in from Bloomington, Illinois. And of course, I've got this Taylor Yosemite Sam Nolan right here because she's firing at the hip. Every tweet was just like, bam, 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 bam. You know what I mean? So here we go. Let's get right into it. Here we go. Here's Tara calling in from D.C.
Hi, Dave. This is Tara calling from D.C. I just wanted to say, as far as Taylor goes, I didn't really like Taylor when she was on The Bachelor and Bachelor in Paradise. She always just seemed to be the type of person who was very insecure within herself, and she would project those feelings onto other people in a very superior demeanor, which was always very nasty. So I think that if people are talking about canceling Chris Harrison, then she needs to be canceled as well. And that's just what it is.
Oh, I love ending it with "that's just what it is." Thank you so much, Tara, calling from D.C. You're like the hipster. You're like, I didn't like her before it was cool to not like her. Thank you so much. Let's go to Sarah from Texas.
Hey, I'm Sarah from Texas, and this whole Taylor Nolan thing really opens up a bigger debate, I believe, about whether or not she should be a practicing psychologist or therapist. And as a psychologist, I don't think she should have her license. I'll leave it at that. Tell me what you think.
Wow, there it is. Sarah from Texas, a psychologist, saying you don't think Taylor Nolan should have her degree. She shouldn't be practicing psychology. Very interesting. I mean, is there a board of in law, you could lose your license to practice law if you do something against the core values there. Same thing as a doctor. I wonder. Let me know. I would love to hear back from you, Sarah from Texas. Let me know. Is there something that can be done to get her to lose her license? All right, let's move along here. Let's go to Malik from California.
This is Mal calling from California, longtime SAP listener. Just about Taylor's whole tweet situation, I was honestly in shock, and I think one of the most shocking things about her apology was that she said that she left all of them up on purpose, and almost turned around and be like, "Jokes on you guys, those were there on purpose, just to show you how much I've grown." When in reality, she was exposed. I think if she really knew those were there, she would have obviously gone and deleted those upon reflection. If she actually, felt guilt for them, felt responsibility for them. Absolutely. If you felt differently, I feel like you'd want those off of your profile and you wouldn't want those out in the world. So definitely on the majority side here that this is just crazy. And I cannot believe that she works in the mental health community. It's honestly appalling.
Appalling is right. I love that you said she left him up and was like, "Jokes on you guys. I knew they were up there." It's like if you've ever tripped. You ever see in the movies someone trips and falls and then they start doing push-ups like they were pretending to do that all along. There it is. All right, moving along, folks. You guys are on fire today.
Hey, Dave. It's L-Dog.
What up?
Just watching your denouncement video, the first one about Taylor, whatever her face is. And I think people are saying and tweeting that they denounce this behavior because they literally want to say, I don't want to be fucking associated with this person whatsoever. Whatever they like, whatever they talk about, wherever they've been, I don't like it and I don't support it. And they literally just want to distance themselves so far from them and their situation. And I guess that's the shame. I digress.
Well, thank you for your digression. No, you're absolutely right. Whenever I see a bunch of lemmings running in the direction of the cliff, I'm always like, what are we doing here? Like, isn't it obvious people denounce this? But then again, I shouldn't assume anything. It makes a ass out of you and me. Oh, I was going to make something snarky, but I couldn't think of anything. Okay.
Hey, Dave, Megan from Chicago. I love your show. What I think about Taylor's tweets that are, I think, the most astounding part is that she's a therapist and that she was sharing information that came from her clients. And I'm not entirely sure, but I believe that is illegal and can have restricted her license. So I think that is another lens we can look at the situation. Love your show. Have a great day.
Thank you so much. I can tell you guys are trying to rush because I said, make it quick. I love it. Thank you guys so much. It really helps. Thank you. I can't play the 3-minute voicemails. I just don't have the time, guys. I can't play them. But thank you so much. Yeah, I wonder if she can lose her license. Will someone let me know what the clause is for psychologists? Like what can happen and if they can lose their license? Would love to know that. By the way, thank you for calling in from Chicago. One of my favorite types of pizza. But I have to say, if we're going to be completely frank, hi, I'm Frank. My favorite type of pizza is Detroit style. That kind of rectangular stuff, Remember Detroit style? You'd always get that at your birthday party. They just cut it into a million pieces. Look, I lived in New York for almost a decade. Detroit all the way. Chicago close second. All right, I like carbs.
Hi, Dave. It's Courtney from South Carolina.
Hi, Courtney.
As for this Taylor Nolan thing, I mean, Jesus, can't people just be decent people? I mean, God, don't put shit on social media that shows that you're just being that way. I mean, come on. Just be good, people. Just be good. Courtney out.
Courtney out. You know what that reminded me of?
You cut the crap. You cut the crap.
Can't we just be good?
You cut the crap.
All right. I digress. Okay, moving on. You guys are great. Fantastic. What do we got here?
Hi, this is Sheriff Oz calling. As somebody with a physical disability and somebody who's Jewish, I take great offense to what Taylor said, and it's just absolutely horrible that somebody would say those things. It's just so horrible and so extremely offensive. And I hope that somehow people can get better. But really, I believe there's no hope for her. Okay, thanks. Bye.
That's Sheriff Oz, everybody. Sheriff Oz calling in. Listen, Oz, I mean, she got you with the disability. She got you being Jewish. If she made fun of Canadians, you would have won a bingo there. I mean, she was really firing across the board. Thanks for calling in, Oz. I don't mean to joke around. The humor is in the fact that she just fires in all directions. You know what I mean? That's the humor there, sadly. And I agree. I don't know. It doesn't. She's coming off so self-righteous. I don't know how you learn from this. But then again, shame is a bitch, and who knows what shame can do to somebody because she's feeling it today. I'll tell you that much.
Hey, I'm calling from California, and basically, I think the worst part about Taylor Nolan's tweets was especially the parts where she talked about suicide, making fun of rape victims. It's never funny, and as someone that is supposed to specialize in sexual abuse and healing, displaying that kind of behavior, especially when studying to become a therapist, is disgusting and truly evil. It makes me question all her motives.
Thank you so much. You know what? I've taken 8 calls already, and no one has mentioned the same thing that she pissed them off about: disabilities, Jewish, people, rape. I mean, just one thing after another. No one's even mentioned the same thing. No one's said anything about her going after the gays yet. That's the final line. Don't mess with the gays. We'll come after you.
Hey, Dave. My name is Jules. I'm from New York, and I love your content. I just want to say this whole situation about Taylor is basically the blueprint of how not to do an apology.
Bingo.
So she's got to take some notes because it's awful. It's awful.
You know, I meant to say this in my last video. I talk for an hour. I don't even remember to say certain things. But yeah, this should be in like crisis management textbook, like case study, episode 3. Students, get out your notebooks. This is how not to apologize. All right, let's go to Charlotte, North Carolina.
Hi, I'm Dia from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Hi, Dia.
And I think Taylor's behavior was seen on the show by the way she was treating Corinne, and I think it was horrible. And I think the best way she can go about apologizing to each community that she's offended is by singling out some of the worst tweets that she has tweeted out and apologizing individually to each community, like Asians, bio, POC, people from the LGBTQ community. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're right. You know what she needs is a PowerPoint slide. I hate to say it. She needs like a TED Talk where she's like, okay, we're on to Southeast Asians, and now we're going to be going into Korea. It's just one after another of the people she's offended. All right, Josh from Boston. What's up, kid?
Hi, Dave. This is Josh from Boston.
Dude.
I just want to call and say I appreciate all the work you're doing.
Cool.
I had a quick question. It's mainly, how do we differentiate between appropriate and inappropriate responses from both of the Rachels to Chris to now Taylor? And the main reason I ask is because there's a lot of energy being passed towards those individuals. Some could call that energy accountability. Others could call that energy bullying. But my main fear is that this could be interpreted as both simultaneously. And the reason for the responses is how the individuals interpret that energy. So, for example, Rachel Lindsay responds to the bullying by getting off of Instagram, but others could say that she was being held accountable, whereas Rachel Kirkconnell was being held accountable, but her mom called it bullying. So I don't know how to judge the different responses. All of that really to say, we are Team Piper James over here. So nice. Piper, if you hear this, holla at your boy. Thanks.
Dude, Josh in Boston likes a little Piper action. A little pipe for the Piper kid. Or are you going to park your car over there in Piper's lawn? What do you say, kid? Now, hey, from Rhode Island, we're basically neighbors. I'm like your unwanted cousin over there, Josh. I got a cousin named Josh, and his mom, my aunt, would yell at him. She'd be like, Josh, knock it off. That's good Boston. Right? Dude, hey, Josh, knock it off. Quit putting your brother in a headlock. Get your brother out of the radiator. Josh, get Timmy out of the radiator, or I'm going to get Dad over here, and he's going to teach you a lesson. You know what I mean? I digress. Great question. I didn't answer it. Yeah, it's all about reaction, you know? It's all about how you react to something, and it can be bullying. It's about the intention. Do you want someone to get better, or do you want to punish them? A lot of what Taylor did is about punishment. And the reason that she got away with her conversations with Corinne is because a lot of people didn't love Corinne. They saw Corinne as a villain, so they kind of were okay with her. But yeah, it's a great question. How are you going to respond to it? Of course, a mom is going to see it as bullying, where it could be constructive. A lot of the initial efforts with Rachel Kirkconnell, I think were not bullying because it was consequences, but I think it's become a lot more constructive now that we have Rachel talking. Now that Rachel's talking and sharing resources, it's more constructive. Very good question. Thank you so much for asking it so eloquently.
Hi, Dave. This is coming from all the way from Minnesota.
Oh, hello, Minnesota.
So the whole Taylor situation, my whole stance on it is that she's only sorry because she got caught. It takes a big person to be self-aware, and she's obviously not self-aware of her actions and the impact that they had. So that's just my take on it.
Well, I mean, yeah, absolutely. And she could just be resentful because she puts in so much work and effort into the causes that she's with now. So she's like, really going to judge me for who I was then, which doesn't help her cause. It made her look worse. So you can choose. It's like a choose du jour of how you want to be offended. Do you want to be offended by her initial statements? Sure. Or do you want to be offended by her piss poor apology? Absolutely. Pick which one you want. Maybe both.
Hi, I'm Natalie. I'm from Denver.
Denver.
I'm in graduate school to become a therapist, and I just want to comment on some of Taylor's Twitter posts, especially the one about personality disorders. And I just wonder about her thinking, like, what if one of her clients saw that as a practicing therapist, even in private life, just like not having any awareness of the impact of those tweets, even if they're a part of her quote unquote journey, just completely disregards the damage that could be done to people who could be her clients. That's the part that's hard to wrap my head around, but I'm interested to hear everyone else's thoughts.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's almost like, should the schools that you go, like if you went to NYU to be a therapist, study psychology, whatever it may be, should the school be looking into your past, should they offering a course about like social responsibility, knowing how you come off? Do you know what I mean? Like maybe. I mean, not to say that we should skirt the issue like it's her fault, but also like are we educating these people? Because this is going to happen. for the next generation moving forward, where like someone's gonna be running for Senate and we're like, oh, we have a TikTok, are you humping a Confederate flag? And it's gonna be like, well, that happened. You know what I mean? Like what are we gonna do to prevent this? Because clearly, not to say that if it's ugly.
The deflection and the manipulation in that whole video is the cringiest thing I think I've ever watched. And I just feel for her. And like you said, I hate that she doesn't have a friend there to be like, okay, all right, we need to stop and we need to talk. It makes me sad. I still think that she should definitely have a second chance, but not if she doesn't want one. And that's what it sounds like.
I mean, yeah, for sure. It's one thing to give someone a second chance when they're like a carpenter, but it's another when their job is to help others. It's like it's almost like I said, if you're a journalist and you lie about a source, you don't get a second chance. If you make news up, you don't get a second chance. Brian Williams was a very well-respected journalist for decades. He spent years trying to get back. He's on MSNBC at like midnight right now, all because he fibbed a story about being in a helicopter during an ambush.
Hi, it's Lou again, and I know this is way more than 30 seconds, but this just reminded me of a past live stream where you were listening to voicemails. Somebody had brought up, like Native people and how a lot of us, a lot of us definitely were wiped out in genocide, but there are a lot of Native tribes that are prevalent in the United States. You could look up the Eastern Men of Cherokee, for example. That's my tribe. We're very much economically and socially, independent, and we literally do our own government. We run our own businesses. We're corporations. So yeah, if you want to look into that, like Native people definitely exist out there. We're not all gone. And I think too, a big part of it is a lot of us are just trying to survive. And like the least we care about is like Bachelor Nation. I'm just lucky enough to be in the position I am to be able to have free time to watch some of the things and just to have this getaway with Bachelor, with the Bachelor franchise. So yeah, okay, that's it. Sorry. And I know I've been mumbling a lot, but it's hard to keep it under 30 seconds. But yeah.
Oh, so these are 3 voicemails she left, and I just played them backwards. So if you're confused, so am I. That's my fault. I didn't realize there were multiple voicemails here, and I was playing them backwards. So we have a listener in the Cherokee tribe. Am I right? This is the Cherokee tribe, and it's in response to Karen.
You cut the crap.
Who kind of said like, hey, the natives didn't have a problem, and that's because, they were partially wiped out by disease and disenfranchisement and all that. So anyway, let's play the first part of her 3-part voicemail. Sorry about that. Played it. That's like watching Harry Potter 5 before you even know the story. Here we go. Let's go to the beginning of this one.
Hey, Dave. I want to keep this super short. My name's Lou.
Whenever someone says they're going to keep it super short, they're not. Okay, Lou, I'm on to you, but I appreciate you. Thank you. This is Lou.
I'm an enrolled member of the Eastern Men of Cherokee from Cherokee, North Carolina. I live on the reservation. I'm a big fan. I watch your videos all the time. But yeah, this whole Tay Mocha situation really just reminds me of Elizabeth Warren. And as a Native woman who has grown up here on the reservation, I'm actually a third year at UC Berkeley, but because of COVID, I'm home. But it just reminded me of how Elizabeth Warren never grew up here, never grew up around the culture or anything like that, but she claimed to be Cherokee, and that literally like skyrocketed her career, her political career. She used that on most of her applications, and they took her in because they thought she was Native, but she had no experience. So I think that this just speaks to, like the bigger issue of this, like Taylor, she knows better. She shouldn't do that, like it's wrong to co-opt the struggles of people when you have never grown up in that community, and that speaks to a bigger issue that we have. So yeah. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.
Thank you so much. This is very fascinating. So, and again, correct me if I'm wrong. You said you're a member of the Cherokee tribe, or did I might have messed that up. I apologize. But very interesting to compare Elizabeth Warren to Taylor Nolan. But you're absolutely right. I mean, Elizabeth Warren, she claimed she thought she had Cherokee. She thought she had Native blood, but yeah, it didn't get her like a big a high up job at Harvard. I could be wrong, but yeah, either way, it's about centering yourself in a demographic to gain personal advantage. That has to be one of the worst lies you can make. Not to say that Taylor was lying by doing that, but clearly when you flip-flop like that, it should be very questionable to say the least.
Hey, Dave. This is Christina. I'm from Maryland.
Ah, Christina.
So about Taylor Nolan, I just wanted to touch quickly on what you said about not understanding what centering herself around whiteness meant.
Perfect.
Not sure if that's the exact wording, but you get it. So as someone who's also mixed with black and white, I think what she meant by that was as a light-skinned person intentionally using colorism and Eurocentrism to her benefit. So like using the fact that you're more light-skinned and changing the way that you talk and act, being more palatable to white people. So it's basically just code switching, which is a pretty common term in the black community. I'm not 100% sure if that's what she meant by leaning on her whiteness, but yeah. Not trying to defend her, though, because her apology was awful, and I'm not sure why we can't just apologize when we hurt people. It's weird. Anyway, have a great night. Looking forward to more videos.
Thank
Bye.
you so much for that call. Explaining colorism and Eurocentrism to your benefit. And that's exactly, both calls line up. You guys are so smart, kind of explaining how you're basically, you guys are really, Taylor, you should be listening to this. Everyone's so eloquently explaining how Taylor messed up, and it's like she doesn't even seem to know it. Sometimes it takes an outsider to notice these things. She doesn't know. She's.
Hi, I'm calling from South Dakota, and I have a special needs daughter that has Down syndrome. And the motto is spread the word to end the word with Special Olympics. And it basically is saying, don't use the R word. It's offensive and hurtful. Thanks. Bye.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate your voicemail and for spreading the message. Thank you so much. Cassie from Boston.
Hey, Dave. This is Cassie from Boston. And I just have to weigh in on this Taylor situation because I think I'm a big believer in second chances, and normally I would be all for forgiveness, but she was calling to fire Chris Harrison so hard for doing far, far less. And I just think it's so bittersweet, and it is poetic justice for her to be going through this right now. And I just don't see her redeeming herself, especially after her victimized fake apology. So that's my 2 cents. Thanks for taking my call.
Poetic justice. Very well said. Yeah, that's like, what's Chris Harrison doing right now? I bet he's there with a coffee just going, well. You know what I mean? Not to say Chris Harrison was in the right. There's varying degrees of being disappointed and apologies and all that jazz. Stephanie, what's happening from Texas?
Hi, my name is Stephanie. I'm from Brownwood, Texas.
Hi, Stephanie.
And I love Taylor. I loved hearing her talk to Reality Steve and talk about all the issues. She gave me such a different point of view on things. And she seemed really, really heated and angry. And I really took that as passion. But now after seeing all these tweets, it's like she's just the same little girl angry at everyone. But now she's spewing that anger at something that's, more acceptable. Like the comedy stuff used to be cool before and making fun of people. And now, fighting against it is what makes you popular. So for me, she's just, I'm done with her. She's lost all credibility.
There you have it. Lost a fan in Texas. Thank you so much for that call. You're absolutely right. A lot of anger there. What's the purpose of it all? Are we doing better for others or for
Dave,
yourself?
This is Van Ann from Arizona.
Hi.
I totally agree with you, and I think she should just totally own up on what she did wrong instead of trying to bring forward what she's doing right now. It's just basically to just own up what she's done wrong. Thanks for providing your input on this, and love your channel. Thanks.
Thank
Bye.
you so much. Yeah, I think over time she's going to come to this realization. This next, that she's done something wrong, and she'll maybe a little more eloquent about that. But clearly she needed somebody by her side. This was the exact reason why you do have a crisis PR. Okay, next one is my favorite voicemail. Listen to this one. Sometimes I can read a few of the lines first. So here's my favorite voicemail.
Hi, this is going to be really short.
That's it. That's the voicemail. There you have it, folks. Loved it. That was great.
Hey, man. My name's Andrew. I'm from Wilmington, Delaware. I just realized my best friend actually went to school with Taylor. She was in the same master's program as her at Johns Hopkins. She just texted me saying that she's fake as hell, and it's just really snobby and just very uppity.
No way.
So the way that she presents herself in her videos is her all the time to anyone she ever meets. She's just not a good person. She's a hypocrite.
You know, I don't like a world where we just tar and feather people, and that's exactly what we're doing now. But this is just this is the chromatic response to her negative energy and the bandwidth of the world.
Okay, I'm just gonna leave another voicemail because when I left was so awkward. But what I basically
all right, let's play your first one then. This is your first voicemail.
Hi, so I'm from.
Wait, hold on a second. You don't want me to play the first one. All right, we'll go straight into the second one. We'll avoid the first one.
Okay, I'm just gonna leave another voicemail because when I left was so awkward. But what I basically was just trying to say is like I don't think she can make an excuse. Like I don't think she can make living in America and being influenced by white supremacy as an excuse for those tweets because I think they go beyond just racism. It's just like they were very vile, very disgusting. Even like I've never heard a normal person say the things that she said. And I think that I really do think, just like you mentioned in a video, that she used social justice as a way to bully people and to continue bullying them just in another form where she would be able to be justified in doing it.
Good point. Totally agree. Go back to New York City.
Hi, Dave. This is Isa, a.k.a. NYC Demon Diva from New York City. Big fan of your content. Keep up the good work.
Oh, thank you.
I just wanted to say all these allegations, every week, every day, someone new. As a minority myself, I'm Puerto Rican and very proud of it.
Woo!
It's just becoming harder and harder to keep supporting or even watching this franchise. It's heartbreaking. I've been a fan for years, but I honestly can't watch anymore without thinking of everything that has come to light within like the past few years. And it makes me lose interest. I can't keep watching. I'm honestly not sure, and it's sad, but I really think that this franchise is forever tainted, and I'm not sure that they're going to be able to do anything to get people like me to come back and watch without thinking of all the bad stuff that has come to light. So I just wanted to put my thoughts out there. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, look, it's very triggering to a lot of people. It's a lot to deal with when you have it. It just brings back a lot of issues. It's like every Monday you just relive a bully. I totally understand. I mean, I really hope they move forward with some more positive. There's a lot of positivity in the show, and it's hard to find it, but I know it's there. It's just not being put in the final edit. So I'd love to see more of the Zach Clarks. I'd love to see more of the people doing good things with their platform.
Hey, my name's Andrew. I'm from Wilmington, Delaware. I was watching your video about Taylor's apology, and I just found it really funny how on her season she constantly talked about emotional intelligence and like being able to reflect and like see how your actions affect other people. And I don't understand why somehow she is not able to do that. She's just the definition of a hypocrite. Thanks. I love your show. Bye.
Thank you so much. Yeah, what can you say? I mean, it is what it is. Hypocritical.
Hey, I'm calling from New York and saw your video about Taylor Nolan. Yeah, as a therapist, I thought her tweets are really upsetting and hurtful. I mean, it's really hard being a patient of someone who, said all these hurtful things. I hope that she has a more empathetic apology coming up. Her first apology was not an apology. But I don't even know what this is going to mean for her career going forward. And I wonder how her patients are doing. And that's really the biggest thing that's going through my mind right now.
I mean, she's going to have to pivot. Thank you for calling. She's going to have to pivot to talk about how she's overcome rebuilding herself after all of this. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. That's all she can do is talk about how she's overcome herself. And obviously she's not there yet.
Hey Dave, it's Avery from Long Island, and I just want to give my opinion on the whole Team Mocha situation. Coming from experience, and I mean that, Taylor is a person who does not like criticism clearly. She sees herself subconsciously as a person who can't be wrong. That is why she makes all these crappy apologies, if you could even call it one. She feels like she has to give it a tit-for-tat reasoning to keep her image as this perfect person she thinks subconsciously she is. Her words deeply offended me as she covered topics in her tweets that have not been surfaced lately, like anti-Semitism, xenophobia, and fat-shaming. I could say what we already know. What she did was wrong. We know that. But instead, let's talk about what she can do for the future, like Rachel Kirkconnell, like Chris Harrison. That's all for me. Have a great day. You are absolutely hilarious, and I can't wait for the next episode of Reality Dave. Bye. Have a good day.
Oh, thank you so much for that. That was you had a nice like late night monologue there. You could tell you were going on a good rant. I appreciate that. You're absolutely right. Yeah, she can't take criticism. Absolutely.
Hey, this is Valerie,
Georgia and the Bachelor show. I just wanted to say that I'm not too surprised about hearing about Taylor Nolan's
I can't hear you.
racist, rude, and obviously vile remarks. She was very rude.
Sorry, it just cut out. I couldn't hear it. I'm sorry for I'm sorry, Valerie from Georgia. I had a hard time hearing you right there. Let's go into this next one here. Moving it along.
Dave, I love your show. My name is Betty. I'm calling from Southern California. And I think that her response, or Taylor Nolan's response to her tweets, is kind of a sign of being emotionally unintelligent.
Absolutely.
I don't know. She's always just seemed like kind of a dick to me. And that solidifies the dickness, if you know what I mean.
That solidifies the dickness.
Hi, Dave. This is Grace. I'm in Atlanta. I just watched your video about Taylor, and I saw this tweet yesterday, and it really reminded me of, I guess, this situation. And somebody tweeted, the reason why so many extremely woke people turn out to have a bigoted past is because bigotry used to be the best way to bully and intimidate people. But now performative anti-bigotry is the best way to bully and intimidate people. An evolving tool set for sociopaths.
Wow.
It was retweeted by Glenn Greenwald, so I was like, wow, like it really hit. It kind of hits the nail on the head. I think that we can all progress and become better people, but we have to acknowledge what we've done wrong in the past without just blowing it over, and we have to actually be able to forgive people, and that starts with the people that are saying that we're not going to forgive people when they have their own messy past like Taylor does. Thanks for everything you do. Bye.
Very interesting. Yeah, a sociopathic move to evolve your tool set to bully and intimidate people. That seems spot on to what happened, right?
Hi, Dave. This is Madison from Colorado. I just saw your video on Taylor Nolan's apology, and I just wanted to say that I think we should just ignore her. I feel like she has a history of weaponizing like this woke language, quote unquote, that we've seen her do for a long time, even when she was on Nick Viall's season, and she was like yelling at Corinne for not being emotionally mature or whatever, because she was Corinne, obviously. But I just think she thinks she's smarter than everybody else, and that she shouldn't have to apologize for shitty things just because she thinks she's so smart. So I just honestly prefer that we ignore her and just not give her a platform anymore to be famous. So anyways, that's my thoughts. Have a great day.
Thank you so much. I couldn't agree more. Now, obviously, we're going to dissect the hell out of this in the meantime, but you're absolutely right. It's like I've got a master's degree, or I've got a degree in this, so I can X, Y, and Z. That's why for me, it's like I feel like an idiot sometimes. I'm like, I have a business degree. I don't know much about anything. I'm an actor. I don't have a theater degree. I do a YouTube. I don't have a YouTube degree. I don't have any degree. I don't have a technical degrry. I'm just talking to you guys. I'm an idiot. But if I came on here and was like, well, let me tell you why I know better. It's like, no, I don't know better. I just have been through heartbreak myself, and I want to be a better person, so I don't have to deal with that again. You know what I mean? All right.
Hey, just calling from Missouri. I actually think that, I think she can. I'm just about Taylor, by the way. I think she can get past this, and I think people will get past it and kind of forget about it, as they do with so many other scandals, if she does take that time to apologize and actually say, hey, I was wrong and I'm sorry. Also, a quick side note to the thing that you were saying about how everybody always has to denounce it. Like, actually, every time I see that, I get so annoyed.
Yeah, maybe I get annoyed too. Maybe it's just like a thing in our personalities that we get annoyed when everyone's got to jump on a bandwagon and do things. It annoys me across the board. A lot of things annoy me anyway, so don't take it personally. Any voicemails over a minute long, I can no longer play. This video's too long, so I'm sorry. If it's over a minute long, I can't play it. I do appreciate the calls.
Hey, this is Morgan calling from Los Angeles. I am just calling to say, I feel like the only way for her to get redemption would be for Taylor to address the whole situation about her knowing that these tweets were out there. I just don't find that believable that she knew they were out there and she kept them up as a teaching moment, but then has never spoken on it publicly. So I think maybe admitting to that being false is the way forward. Thanks. Love watching your channel. Bye.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, I feel like there were so many up there, she probably just didn't even know where to start. Let's go into this one. Thank you for the call.
Hi, Dave. This is Erin calling from Pennsylvania. I just want to say I love your YouTube channel, and I hope your move went well. Real quick, I just want to say I think that Taylor's apology was completely fake. It was edited. I think she was a copycat of Demi with the whole "I'm stupid" thing. She didn't really apologize to anybody except for people of color, which is great, but what about everybody else who suffered? I don't think she's genuine at all, and I felt like that when she was on the TV show as well. But that's all I wanted to say. I hope you have a great day, and I'm excited for tonight. Talk to you later.
Oh, thank you so much for the call. Actually, I think Demi had a better apology. Like, I don't think you should beat yourself up over it, but I believe Demi's ignorance, whereas Taylor, you believe she was meaning to be hurtful, right? All right, couple more. All right, I'm trying to play only the short ones here. Sorry, I can't get
Hi, this is Addison from Chicago. What I was going to say about the Taylor situation was that I don't think we should cancel anyone just because I don't believe in cancel culture. But I think that it's just a weird situation just because she's been so outspoken about things, just not outspoken about what she's done wrong. And I think that's what's rubbing a lot of people the wrong way. So I think she just needs to kind of get off her high horse in a sense and really recognize what she's done wrong, just because I think her as a human being, she just has an inflated sense of self. So I think she just needs to kind of get that in check and really recognize what she's done wrong. Love your videos.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's like when Ted Cruz went to Cancun and his whole state's, freezing to death. It's like we realize you can't maybe do that much on your own, but a little bit of symbolism here. You know what I mean?
Hey, Dave, this is Susan outside of Seattle, and this is my quick point on this. Taylor says she's done the work for 10 years. I guess my point is, where's the work? It just doesn't show. Walk the walk, don't talk the talk. And one final note, it's great to see you and Tasha thriving. It's wonderful. We're so happy for you. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks, Susan. You're so kind. Yeah, we're so happy to be in the new place. I've got like bruises all over me from the move, just from carrying stuff, but it's good to be home. After this video, I got to go to the supermarket. The fridge is still empty, so I got to go get some food. All right, couple more here. I got these 2-minute long ones. I just can't do them. I can't do it, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, this is your pain in the neck, Karen. And I think Matt James is the best Bachelor that's ever been on there other than Sean Lowe. So I love Matt James. And take it as a surprise or whatever, but I think he's great, okay?
Oh, thank you, Karen. I don't think it is a surprise at all, Karen. I love you, Karen. Come on.
You cut the crap.
I got that. You're the only one. You're the only caller to ever get a sound button on my board.
You cut the crap.
So no, I don't want to be off on the wrong foot with you, Karen. I'm glad you like. I'm glad you like him. All right, I got all these other ones. They're 2 minutes long. I just can't play them. I'll be here all day. We're already at 38 minutes. Thank you so much for calling in. I will be live at 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time tonight for tonight's tonight's Women Tell All. And tomorrow morning, first thing in the morning, I'll be making my recap video. It's my first time with a sponsor. We have an It and Read. I have a sponsor, so I hope you guys check that video out. More views, the better. And after that, just nonstop content. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you. Have a good one. You guys were so insightful. And spread that love. It's the Brooklyn way.